What's up, my peoples? Now, I must give this disclaimer. I don't like prepare for these videos or anything. I don't like go get dressed, get the proper lighting and all that, right? So don't judge me for my reality. Now, I've always considered myself a revolutionary, right? Now, I'm gonna ask you a few questions, and as your answers let you know where you stand, right? Now, if we were immediately freed of all social constraints and all forms of government and all forms of regulations and all that, right? What would be the most important thing to your life, right? Not just to the moment. I gotta go get some water. No, we ain't talking about that. We talking about after everything is gone, dust settled, and you know where the food and water is. What would be the most important thing to your life? What would be the goal? Okay. Now, answer that to yourselves. Second question. What is the primary fundamental unit of society? What is society built off of from, nothing? How do you come about society? Okay. Now, here's my thing. Family is the fundamental unit of society. It would be the most important thing if all outside influences were taken away. Meaning, there's no one to pay you to pick up a book and put it on the shelf. There's no one to pay you to plow a field. There's no one to pay you to do anything, and there's no one to buy anything from you. Now, what would be important at that moment? It would be your abilities and who you are. And what would you use those abilities for? Build a family unit. First corporation, the only natural corporation there is. We could argue about that if you wanted to, but this ain't a live video, so it's not like you could argue back. But here's the thing. The reason I said I'm a revolutionary is because you have to, as a revolutionary, you contemplate the purposes and things of systems, because you can't just want to go against the system. You can't want to overthrow the system and you don't know what the hell the system is. You can't just overthrow it because you want freedom if you don't know what freedom brings, right? No idea what freedom is, which is why a lot of you believe you're free, even though you're not in the least or in the slightest. Now, here's my thing. Before there can be a revolution, before I can have freedom and you can have freedom and any of us can have freedom, we have to fight our way up out of the darkness that we call society right now. The most polarizing thing for a man, just speaking on the man right now, because that's what I am, is what he cares about. All right? Add some intelligence with why he cares and all that, and you get movement. Now, if we they destroyed the family structure already, and now we have no pushback, no true even concept of revolution. Now we really are just how would you say, the comfortable slaves. And as the flames get turned up higher and higher, all the solutions, all the conversations are basically centered around getting deeper into the hot water. I know, we can go into specifics, not right now, man. They just want to go deeper into the hot water. See, what you fail to realize is you got to get back to the family. That's why it's such a important conversation, even though it's going awry, but it's an important conversation to talk about the relationships and what do we define them as, things of that nature. Because they've destroyed our relationships. There's a whole maybe 2-3 generations of humans who have never had as a whole would have never had the experience of their true purpose. You know what I'm saying? See, money is a man-made object. It's a man-made concept. It's very ingenious. It's very ingenious of them to come up with the concept money, because this is something that they didn't get from nature. It's not something it's something they didn't get from tradition. This is a alien concept. Like, as there's nowhere on earth that this concept could have been derived from. So yes, it takes a certain amount of evil genius to come up with converting a human's energy and time into a piece of paper that you can now hoard for yourself. Because in a natural state, my energy and time is my value, and I get from that energy and time the energy and time that I put in. Now that we're on currency, it's not the case. Oh yeah, it's pretty fucking genius how they did that. And then to convince us all that we want that more than we want the apple. To convince us all that we want to participate in this system of false currency more than we want families, more than we want to validate our last name and legacy. Because now they convinced us that all that is contained within that piece of paper. It's crazy, but, anyway. There's no revolution when you only want to get deeper into the system. Oh, we got to get our money right. We got to open up our own banks. And what are you going to do with that but listen to them still? See, the truth is, there is no getting rich without, a little bit of corruptness. Well, you can't get rich without major corruption. You can't get ahead financially without some corruption. Why? Because you have to take somebody else's time and energy. You can never do it just off of yours. No. There is no millionaires or billionaires in the nature, because none of them have the time or energy to do any of the things that they're doing. But they get you to do it for them, give you a fraction of 1% of that time and energy that you put out in the form of paper, and convert the rest into paper and put it in their pocket. I mean, pretty ingenious. I mean, you got to be trained to fall for this system. You got to go to school, and they got to teach you that this is the way the world works, because every child is like, well, it's just there. Why can't I just grab that apple? We have to teach them that money is more valuable than freedom, so that they willingly subjugate their freedom, their time, their energy into keeping the system going. And that's why when you see people talking about getting ahead, revolution, establishing black independence, any of these things, they always mentioning money, which doesn't give you independence. Here's another thing, right? In humanity, what is 50% of our survival? That's kind of the wrong words, but all right, let's just skip to that. Now, for humans to survive, it takes the man to go out there, protect, blase, hunt, gather, all this other shit, right? Patrol territory, keep it safe. It takes a woman to fucking be able to take care of and nurture that child and all that into existence. Now we introduce money. The man gets paid to go hunt. The man gets paid to gather. The man gets paid to build. The man gets paid to stand there and watch over fields, right? How much does a mother get paid? No salary, right? How many things do she do? No payment to that, though. Now, before money, the fact she did that shit was in itself value. But then they made humans value money and didn't pay mothers for what they was doing. So now mothers don't value being mothers, because the only value in humanity is what makes money. Man made money. Certain men made money, and then they distributed to the rest of humanity, and they control the rest of humanity with that. And all of a sudden, mothers value money over motherhood, because society values a money-making title over 50% of what it takes to fucking even be here to talk about making money. 50%. Money ain't even 50% of your life. This is 50% of the reason that you're here. It doesn't get paid money, so now it's not valued. And now our families fall apart. We currently seem to be in a situation where they're starting to devalue the male side of it as well, regardless of the money. It's all becoming just, oh, you're supposed to do that, whatever. But that's all propaganda. I mean, in the people who watch it tend to fall for the propaganda, and then it becomes a reality because now you got this bot in real life flesh walking around spitting programs. Anyway, revolution, freedom, these are things that can never be had and never be bought. Can never be had with $1 and can never be bought. Freedom is the will to stand up against anything that's against you. Period. That's freedom. Freedom is the ability to live and die by your choices, not by the program. Freedom is the ability to create and build whatever you can, not to work and get paid and buy what they make. You know, well, as a revolutionary, I think it's important that all these other people who call themselves innovators and call themselves anything start fighting against the right thing. You need to start fighting against the right thing. I know y'all think y'all doing good with your nice flashy characters and all that. You know, things that sound smart for 5 minutes till you actually think about it, you know, all that type of stuff. You know, one-sided debates, no empathy, all this stuff. It's just ridiculous. It really is. And if I had a platform as big as some of these cats, I would destroy a lot of these cats for the simple fact that your misinformation is destroying our people. And no matter what your definition of our people is, it's destroying them too. If your definition of our people is humanity, then it's destroying a lot of your people. My people too. You know, all the segments and all that shit made up by man. Meaningless words now make the most important thing in your life. You'll live and die for words. Would you die for freedom? Do you even know what freedom means? Or is it your propaganda version that comes with a flag and division? This is what life is like.